This lesson covers the deployment of software using folder redirection and scripts as part of group policy. Now, when I look at a group policy object, there are different settings available for computers and users. Some of the common ones are software settings. For example, I can actually target software both to a computer and to different users. Now, a software installation is just using a package which needs to be an MSI file. So this is the Windows Installer Package format. Now, there would be ways to deploy applications that aren't in MSI format. You would effectively be using a script. You would not actually be using Group Policy's native application deployment technology to deploy that application. But I can actually load in an MSI package and then deploy it using Group Policy. So I've selected a package and I can say, is it published or assigned? So because I'm deploying at the computer level, I can only say assigned. Assigned means it's actually going to be installed on that machine. Published means it's offered, and a user would actually be able to optionally select this program, or you could do assigned. But because it's at the machine level, there's no way to just offer it. It actually then be assigned to that machine. Or I could say advanced. And advanced gives me additional modifications I can perform. So publish makes it optionally available. Assign means it's going to get installed. So I've now assigned this MSI file to the machine, and I'm actually going to delete that. I don't actually want this assigned, so I'm going to remove this application. But notice what it's saying. If I remove this, it's going to undo whatever changes it performed. I can actually say to uninstall it or leave it there. Allow users to continue using that software. Likewise, on the user side, I could do exactly the same thing, but I could actually say, hey, I just want to publish it here, make it available, and they could go and add it via the sort of the control panel. Now, in addition to software, another common thing I have here is scripts. So for a machine, I can define startup and shutdown scripts. For a user, I can define log on and log off scripts. And these can be batch files. These could be PowerShell scripts. So notice I have an option for scripts and I have an option for PowerShell scripts. I can also say, if there are both, I can say, well, should PowerShell run first or after the normal type bat type scripts? So I have startup, shutdown of the machine, and log on, log off of the machine. And you can see here in this example, I'm actually calling a batch file when a user logs on. So I can really have a lot of control over running these scripts at a machine or a user level. And when they actually log off or shut down the machine, I can actually go and perform actions. And again, the fact that I can use PowerShell really lets me do anything I need to these environments. Now, as I'm going to cover later on, you may actually find you don't need scripts as much as you did in the past because of a new Group Policy Preferences feature. But for now, understand this is a great thing I can actually do. For users only, I also have the option of doing folder redirection. Now, this is not available for a machine because machines don't have my documents, they don't have my pictures. But I can go into a folder redirection, and for each of those common types of folder, I can actually say, do I want to do redirection? I can say, redirect everyone's folder to the same location. So what this means is I can say, I'm going to specify a root path, and it could be server-share. And what this option here is saying, under this root, it's going to create a new folder for each user and set the NTFS permissions accordingly. I could also say, well, redirect it to the user's home folder. Redirect it to a specific location so everyone just gets the same location. I could say redirect to the user's local profile. I can say advanced, and then different groups of people get different settings. Now, I will get different options depending on the folder I select. So I could say, for example, for pictures, I can say follow the documents. Or maybe I don't want pictures replicated up to some central file server. And this is the whole goal of this. Typically, all these folders live locally on the user's machine under their profile folder. But if users use multiple machines, well, I'd like their data to follow them. I'd like their settings to follow them. So by configuring folder redirection, I can now make this replicate up to a file server in my environment. That data would all be replicated up there and still cached locally. So now users will get the same experience, the same data, no matter where they are, no matter what machine they're using. So definitely in any environment where you need to support users running multiple machines, if you need to support VDI, or session virtualization, you always need to make sure you're utilizing folder redirection to give them a consistent experience. In addition to this, you'd also want to make sure you're using roaming profiles or a technology such as user experience virtualization, which is part of the Microsoft Desktop Optimization Pack. This concludes the lesson on software installation, folder redirection, and script processing with group policy.